I watched Mom tap her platinum card repeatedly against the crystal wine glass, her traditional signal for a Thanksgiving dinner lecture. Around the table, my siblings straightened their designer outfits while I remained in my well-worn coding hoodie. "Amanda," she began, swirling her Bordeaux, "when are you going to stop with these computer games and get a real job? Your sister Catherine just made junior partner at her law firm." "They're not exactly games," I replied, checking my phone discreetly. The trading algorithms were right on schedule. "Playing with fake money and pretend worlds," Catherine smirked. "Meanwhile, I just closed the Peterson merger." "How fascinating," I murmured, watching the market indicators flash. "And how's the banking sector looking?" "Not that you'd understand corporate finance," she waved dismissively, "but my firm handles 3 major banks' acquisitions." "Handled," I corrected softly as my phone buzzed. The family room TV suddenly blared breaking news. Dad fumbled with the remote as the headline scrolled. "Breaking. Gaming industry titan Winter Digital acquires major banking consortium in historic $30 billion deal." Catherine's fork clattered against fine china. Mom's wine glass froze halfway to her lips. "What acquisition?" my brother Michael whispered. I stood straightening my hoodie. "Winter Digital now controls 20% of U.S. digital banking infrastructure, along with the largest gaming payment network globally." "That's impossible," Mom sputtered. "The regulatory requirements were approved last week," I finished. "Turns out gaming companies understand digital currency better than traditional banks." But your little computer projects," Catherine stammered. "Built the most sophisticated financial technology platform in the world." I pulled out my phone. "Speaking of which, Catherine, try using your credit card." She reached for her purse, face paling as declined notifications populated her screen. The turkey was getting cold and they hadn't even seen our plans for the global payment system yet. "What did you do?" Catherine's voice shook as she tried card after card. "Nothing yet," I smiled. "Just a small demonstration of our payment processing capabilities. Amazing how quickly money can move, or stop moving." Mom's fingers trembled as she reached for her phone. "This is ridiculous. I'll just call the bank." "Which is now part of Winter Digital's network," I finished. "Along with their entire digital infrastructure. Those silly computer games built the most advanced financial platform in history." "But the banking laws," Dad protested, "were written before cryptocurrency and digital assets existed." I projected our corporate structure onto the dining room wall using my phone. While traditional banks were fighting regulation, we were building the future of finance. Michael, my investment banker brother, was frantically scrolling through his news feed. "The market is going crazy. Every major bank stock is adjusting to the new reality," I completed. "Interesting how valuable those fake money systems become when you control real ones." The TV continued blaring headlines. Catherine's law firm appeared on screen. They were representing one of the acquired banks. "Your clients must be nervous," I noted, "especially since their entire digital infrastructure now runs through our gaming servers." "You can't just," Catherine began. "Can't what? Build a better system?" "Because that's exactly what we did." I pulled up our user statistics. 2 billion gamers already use our payment platform. That's more customers than every U.S. bank combined. Mom's face had lost its usual condescending smile. "Amanda, sweetheart, perhaps we should discuss pie career choices?" I laughed softly. "A bit late for that, isn't it? Though I did keep the birthday cards where you called my work a waste of potential." My phone buzzed again. "Excuse me. The Federal Reserve wants to discuss our digital currency integration. Catherine, your cards should work again in an hour. Consider it a preview of what happens when you don't control your own financial technology." As I stood to leave, I paused. "Oh, and Mom? That platinum card you love tapping? It's now processed through our gaming servers. Welcome to the future you mocked." The cranberry sauce sat untouched, and I hadn't even told them about our plans for the stock exchange. The next morning, I stood in my command center at Winter Digital's headquarters, watching real-time financial flows pulse across holographic displays. My old gaming setup, which Mom had called a waste of electricity, now powered transactions worth billions per second. "Your family is trying to access the building," my AI assistant noted. Their traditional banking credentials aren't compatible with our security system. I pulled up the lobby feed. Catherine was frantically waving her law firm ID while Mom attempted to drop names with the security guards. Dad kept mentioning his decades of banking relationships. Let them up, I authorized, but flag them as restricted access. They burst into my office moments later, Catherine clutching legal documents while Mom's designer purse bulged with banking statements. The entire financial system is in chaos, Catherine sputtered. Every major bank's digital platform is now running through our servers, I completed, bringing up the global transaction map. Fascinating how much of the world's money flows through silly computer games, isn't it? This has to be illegal, Dad protested. Actually, it's perfectly compliant. I displayed our regulatory approvals. While traditional banks were fighting over old rules, we wrote the framework for digital finance. The regulators came to us. But the banking infrastructure, Mom began, is obsolete, I finished. Our gaming network processes more transactions per second than every bank combined. With better security and lower costs. Catherine thrust her legal papers forward. My firm's banking clients are now our partners, I cut in. Amazing how quickly attitudes change when you control the payment rails. By the way, how many of your clients understand blockchain? This is financial terrorism, she hissed. No, this is evolution. While you were mocking gamers, we built the largest financial network in history. I projected our user base statistics. 3 billion people already use our platform. When's the last time anyone was excited to use a bank? My phone buzzed. Excuse me, the Treasury Secretary is calling about our digital dollar proposal. Digital dollar? Dad's voice cracked. National cryptocurrency, I explained. Turns out gaming companies understand digital currency better than bankers. Speaking of which, Catherine, your firm's fintech division, we just acquired it. Catherine collapsed into a chair. Pi cases will need to be refiled under new financial regulations. Our regulations. I checked the transaction feeds. When Mom? Your country club account? It now runs through our payment system. Hope you remember your gaming password. A week later, I sat in Winter Digital's Network Operations Center, watching trillions in global transactions flow through our gaming servers. The old Federal Reserve building across the street now housed our backup data center. Their traditional banking systems replaced by our quantum computing arrays. Your family is attempting to schedule an emergency meeting, my AI assistant reported. They've been trying to bypass our digital authentication system. I pulled up the security feed. Catherine was arguing with our AI chatbot while Mom attempted to use her social connections to reach me. Dad was trying to explain traditional banking protocols to our security system. Let them up, I authorized, and display their financial profiles. When they entered, their complete transaction histories materialized on the smart glass walls. Every payment, transfer, and credit application they'd ever made. Interesting patterns, I noted, highlighting several entries. Catherine, those offshore accounts you set up for your clients? And Mom's creative accounting with her charity foundation. That's confidential banking information. Catherine protested. Not anymore. Winter Digital's AI analyzes every transaction globally. Your patterns were flagged immediately. I turned to Dad. Those traditional banking relationships you were so proud of? Our system found some interesting irregularities. Amanda, Mom stepped forward. We need to discuss. Your frozen assets? I pulled up their accounts. Amazing how quickly silly computer games become serious when they control your money. You can't just shut down the traditional banking system, Dad argued. We're not shutting it down, we're replacing it. I gestured at the holographic displays showing our global network. Every credit card swipe, every wire transfer, every digital payment now flows through our gaming infrastructure. Welcome to the future you laughed at. Catherine clutched her legal briefcase. The regulatory authorities are our partners now, I cut in. While you were defending old banking laws, we wrote the new ones. Turns out gaming companies understand digital security better than banks ever did. But the financial system, Mom began, has already changed, I finished, showing our market share. 90% of Gen Z prefers our payment system over traditional banks. When's the last time anyone under 30 visited a bank branch? My phone buzzed, another central bank requesting our technology. If you'll excuse me, the European Central Bank is calling about adopting our platform. Platform? Catherine's voice cracked. You mean your games? Our financial operating system, I corrected. The same one processing Mom's country club dues and your law firm's client payments. Speaking of which, your firm's banking practice. We just acquired their entire client list. As security arrived to escort them out, I called after them. Oh, and Catherine? Remember when you said I was playing pretend with digital currency? Check your phone. Your salary is now paid in our corporate crypto. Welcome to the game. Dad turned at the door. Amanda, please. The banking world you knew is over, I stated flatly. The future of finance is digital, decentralized, and runs through gaming networks. And I'm just getting started. I watched them leave through the smart glass, their reflections distorted by the endless streams of transaction data flowing across the surface. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just disrupting an industry, it's rebuilding it in the image of everything they mocked.